orbited.
Yeah.
And we knew that we're going to be on this side of the island, the boat's on the other side of the island.
I'd love to get on my longboard and just get tied onto one of those motorcycles and just get pulled.
I'll get one. You can tie yourself to it.
Are you filming this?
Yeah.
Yellow means caution.
I was real cautious going through that one, right?
Looks like it.
Solid yellow means it's about to turn red. Actually, you know, the signage and traffic lights that starts down here are actually pretty darn good compared to other neighborhood areas.
I'm just surprised there's so many motorcycles.
Scooters.
Some of them are motorcycles.
Yeah. They had a rest area.
Gotta get a head start up the hill. Grabbing the big shit.
Too slow on these hills. Very slow. Did you see that really close encounter there? Those things happen all the time. People are.
Do you know how many accidents there are?
I don't know.
I mean, I've always heard that the U.S. is per capita the highest accident rate.
The thing about it is there's not a lot of record keeping on it. In countries like this, not so much here, but
There's a giant statue up there.
Yeah, that's the big Buddha. You see
Places
the
like
big Buddha?
Indonesia. Yeah, I see it.
Indonesia.
Can we hike to it?
Lots and lots of accidents that don't ever get reported from.
Yes.
I wouldn't dare run a car there. Too crazy. Dominican Republic.
The big Buddha.
Years ago, we ran cars there. So that, what you see straight ahead, that's Shillong.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the
How
commercial.
Shillong?
Yeah, that's the commercial port area where all the tour boats leave from. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
The speedboats that go to various places. That's where we had to go the other day for our customs clearance. It was a really good restaurant. We missed out.
It's just one. There's just one good restaurant there.
There are
That whole
many,
city?
but no, we know about one. We've tested it. They had the best oysters. Do either one of you like oysters?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the oysters are just amazing.
Elephant Crossing. No, elephants that way. I would love to see an elephant crossing. Whether it be real, actual happening or.
You know, the elephants on this island are only in certain places. Like
Yeah, I figure they're on the mainland.
And we're on the mainland. We do have them here.
Just more like the jungle areas.
Where is it? They're kept. They're domesticated. It's like a camp or something. I haven't seen it.
I didn't expect there to be a Russian.
No, people told us about it. I'm not sure what it is. It's just like they have this.
They're very catered to. There's so many signs just in Russian.
Well, it's not far from Russian.
So what's the deal?
And it is, I mean, economy-wise, it's probably cheap here. It's nice and tropical. It's like Americans go to Hawaii or Mexico, Russians come to Thailand.
Right. We've been cautioned that in Turkey, when we get to Turkey, there are a lot of Russians there too. And we've also been told that a lot of those Russians are not very nice people.
They intentionally mean? Or they just don't go out of their way to be nice?
Okay, so here's the circle, first circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go that way? That way, yeah. This puts us on the first part of that right pass road.
Yep. So now we're at 16, going northeast.
You know, they have these U-turns because they don't have a way to turn right in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
So instead they have U-turn places. Sounds kind of crazy, but that's the way they do it. Here and in neighboring countries. So when that happens, you kind of have to go around it.
Well, when a big truck like that's trying to do it,
But the other part of it is, if you see the opposite lane and they do U-turns, they're actually pretty nice about it. They get away. The other day we had to do it. People actually.
That's cool. Yeah, it's got like a British truck looking one. Well, Sheen's got it on camera, so just a flash.
Wow, because they're carrying a lot of stuff.
So we have heard that we can get pulled over here on police basically for bribes.
For what?
For bribes.
Yeah. And one of the things they will say is, do you have an international driving license, driver's license? And since the rental car companies they don't tell you that, most people don't have it.
That person's totally in the middle of the lane.
So then they'll say $50, and you say, well, I only have 25. Okay, 25. Cash, please.
Does your car keep turning off and like stalling or something?
No. But your mom said that.
Because I keep hearing the engine kick in. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's the AC.
It sounds like
The AC seems to go off.
I fear you'd be worried.
It's what electric cars do.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my friends has a hybrid electric, and he's got like a monitor that shows you when it's using gas or when it's using electric. Of the flow chart.
Have you followed the story of Tesla?
Yes. They're trying to have another manufacturer in California, and they should be able to. Darn it.
6,500 jobs. States.
I'm gonna have a Tesla someday.
Well, the company itself, people that invested in the stock made a fortune.
Yes.
Especially once they got on early. I bought it about 6 months ago. That made 50%. They had a little scare for a while because one of their cars caught fire.
That was so
That was
ridiculous.
in the news, and the stock took a hit and went down 10%.
Tesco
Then
Lotus?
recently, they were like just 2 days ago, Consumer Reports recommended it was the best car in the country compared to all.
Oh, right.
Not just electric cars, but
Well, a real gas station.
so the stock jumped up 15% maybe just 2 days ago.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Put all your money in it one day.
Pearl
Turn it over. Retire.
I think the stock market's still pretty risky right now. That's been a good one to have. In fact, I know one person who made enough money on the stock to buy a Tesla car
Yeah.
Nice.
in a matter of just a few months.
That's the way it should work, I think. Invest in something you can actually get one.
Yeah.
A Honda Freed?
Yeah.
They have very different cars here than in the States.
A lot of cars are exported to these countries that are not exported to the United States. It's changing a little bit, you know, just in the last three to 5 years. Some of the companies, I'm not sure what caused the change, but they've started offering models that have been in production for years that were not brought to the States. Mostly smaller cars with really highly efficient small engines. Because, you know, most countries in the world, they're way more frugal about gasoline than Americans are.
It's true. This is an area that's a little more developed.
There are a lot of these small engine cars, like the Daihatsu, for example, and others, there's a whole bunch of others, that are more efficient than electric cars. They burn hardly any gasoline, they're like 50 to 60 miles a gallon, that type of thing. But the car makers in the States lobby Congress,
Yeah, they want you.
so they don't put them on the
want you
market
to buy a
in the
lot of
States.
gasoline in the
Yeah,
States.
what they do, there is a almost fixed per unit profit they have to make per unit per car, right? So these little inexpensive cars, they don't want them because they don't generate enough profit with them. One could argue that if they just sold enough of them, they'd make more profit with them, but they're stuck in their old ways, you know, where they have to make a car can't sell for less than $25,000, you know, for them to be able to make money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this traffic everywhere?
There's a roundabout or a light up there.
Another interesting thing about that is price fixing is supposed to be illegal, but it happens all the time.
What is the price?
Where companies that are supposed to be competitors agree on a fixed price. This is the price for that item in the United States or in that market.
You mean like a type of car or what?
Could be. It's not just cars, it's everything. Every commodity you can think of. Pharmaceuticals, for example. You buy drugs that are made in the United States or produced abroad by American companies. You buy the same drug in Canada for 25-30% less.
Yeah.
Just because. It's because those pharmaceutical companies have determined that the market in the United States can afford more. That's it. And only rationale behind it. And that's supposed to be illegal, but what's happened is the government that's supposed to enforce the law doesn't. They have sweetheart deals and they just don't enforce the law. That was happening more under George Bush than it has recently.
Yeah.
But it still goes on to a larger extent. That's why Americans pay higher prices for just about everything.
Isn't the UK even worse though? I've heard the
UK
cost of living over there is terrible.
Their money is a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
Worth
they
more
make
a
a lot
lot than
more,
ours.
but
Where countries vary a lot, aside from price fixing, is in the scarcity of certain things. Like some countries have a scarcity of housing,
yeah.
and so the housing market is really inflated. No matter whether it's rentals or Australia's a good example. Australian housing market is mind-boggling. Any little cheap suburban home is over $1 million.
What?
Yeah,
Where?
in Australia.
Why?
Just because. Australia also
USD?
happens to be very expensive in general.
I know they have nice hair care products.
And part of it is because their economy is just getting
Korean restaurant.
so recently. Australia has a shortage of labor for everything. So they have to have immigrant influx of labor of something like 5 to 10% of the population every 5 years. More so than the United States, more so than most other countries.
Yeah,
It's the most expensive country we've been to, Australia.
we get a lot of Southeast Asians there now.
Well, there's lots of controversies going on in
those Jeeps.
Australia about immigrants trying to get in because they have a lot of Indonesians,
Rover.
which are on the border, that are trying to come in on boats. And they're not just Indonesians, they're actually a lot of them are Syrians and people from war-torn places in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Iraq.
Oh, there's a wrecked bike in the middle of the road.
Ooh.
So those countries, people are paying basically smugglers to take them to Indonesia to get on the boats
Yeah.
to go to Australia. That's been going on for some time now. So the Australians, their navy are busy ramming up all these boats. Like every year, hundreds of boats, thousands and thousands of people are taken to these refugee camps. For lack of another word here. They do have another word for it, but it's basically like a refugee camp. And they hold them there. And then some of them get repatriated and some just stay there, you know. It's a sad story. But here's the deal with Australia.
I'm sure they'd still rather be there than there, whatever, genocide.
Yeah, sometimes their
I
lives
just bleeding to the left. I'm on feeling.
Ooh. Oh, we drove by that the other night.
Sorry.
in some cases those people would be killed if they went back to their countries.
Yeah.
The Syrians and whatnot. But the deal with Australia is they need people and they want people. If you were to, for example, apply for a visa to go there, you'd probably go there easily and get a job. You'd probably do very
A lot
well.
of money. Yeah, I remember that when we went there.
So you can do it.
Or
and
in New Zealand
they
too,
do
right?
want people, but they want people
With skilled
who
trade.
speak English
I can
first
speak English.
and who have skills. And they want certain skills. They want teachers. They want electrical engineers. They want anything to do with mining. They need
Mining, I
people
know.
involved in mining skills. So they want people, and they bring lots of men, but they don't want poor Indonesians and other nationalities who can't speak English.
It's like an elite country.
Yeah.
And I got skills.
If I was going to do it, though there's less opportunity, I think New Zealand would be a better place to immigrate to.
Yeah.
It's just a better quality of
Health-conscious.
life and everything. Most of Australia, especially on the East Coast, resembles California and Florida, like hyper-development, suburbia.
The longboarding was really good in Australia.
It's great for sports. There's lots of sports activities and there are things to do there, but the lifestyle doesn't thrill me at all. Not to mention it's hotter in places, about 2/3 of the country. Australia is like right at the epicenter of global warming. There are just enormous problems with climate change. But that's just my personal choice. If I was somebody who just needed to get a job and had looking for an economic opportunity, probably Australia's got more of that. A lot of New Zealanders are immigrating to Australia.